Hey sis, let's talk about STEM.
Welcome to the Beauty System Podcast, where we discuss the science behind beauty. We are your hosts, Maiya, Elaine,
And Maiya, Nicole, and together we will dissect topics around beauty for women of color with the goal of making science, technology, engineering, and math concepts more accessible and relatable to everyday life.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
This is our
First episode of the
beauty system.
System.
Woo, 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 woo. That was me cheering.
Yes. So for everybody here, the Beauty System is a visual and audio podcast.
Yes.
It's spelled the beauty regular. System is spelled SIS, sis, like me, you, we,
Sis.
us. We having a conversation. And STEM, STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So the beauty system is about the science behind beauty. So we're going to do all things STEM related to beauty.
Yeah, and the real goal of it is to break down STEM, down these concepts that, may be foreign to some, maybe like, oh yeah, girl, I know that. But the point is to make it accessible and for people to understand more about themselves and how their beauty relates to the science world. So yeah.
So welcome to the beauty system.
Welcome to the beauty system. So we failed to mention who we are. My name is Maiya Nicole.
My name is Maiya Elaine.
And we're the hosts. So it might be a little bit easier if you're watching us do video to distinguish who, but I know that our listeners are gonna, understand our voices. They're gonna learn them. They're gonna learn them. So normally we would start the episode off by introducing the guest who was joining us. But since we're the first guest, technically, but we're also the host. But since we're the first guest, I thought it would be cool if we introduce one another.
Sure.
Don't be so hesitant. Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
So today on the beauty system, we have the lovely Maiya Elaine. She hails from Georgia, Lithonia to be very specific. And she is the creative genius behind maibeauty, which is a business dedicated to innovating and creating products and tools with the quality and intention needed for women of color. Professionally, she is a consultant and she has a degree in computer engineering. And that's wrong. No, I was right. That was
but
right.
I need you to clarify yours because you got a long degree name.
Please. She has a degree in computer engineering, and she hand makes all of the products currently for maibeauty with those hands. And she's a lovely individual. She is kind. She's funny. She's really a versatile individual. She can sing, being funny. She's not afraid to sing. She dances really well. That's not a lie. She plays music. She was in the band. So she does it all. She's very versatile. There's nothing that I feel like Maiya can't do. So that is Maiya Elaine.
Yes. What a friend. Okay. And now I will be introducing Maiya Nicole. Maiya Nicole hails from South Chesterfield, Virginia.
That's true.
Born and raised. And she holds a degree in fill in the blank.
I hold a degree in commerce with concentrations in information technology and management.
Great. That was a lot. She's very smart. So for maibeauty, which was just explained, she is everything business. She is our marketing manager. She does all of our photos. Maiya really does everything. She does a lot. So there's everything that you guys see, Maiya produces. That's the real of it. Like I make the things behind the scenes, but Maiya, she does all of our photos, all of our videos, all of our editing, all of our content, our posts. She does all of your email marketing, those lovely emails that you guys get for the maibeauty customers. She does, like the business just back end business things for My Beauty, and she did most of the research into how to start a podcast. Tune into our videos on Maiya Business about how this got started. She does all of that. So Maiya is also very versatile, which is why this works. Anything
Well.
that needs to be done, she will figure it out. And fun fact, she's also a very great learner. So you guys will also benefit from that. She can learn and do anything, literally anything.
Wow.
So yes, this is Maiya Nicole.
Well, that was lovely.
Lovely.
Now that you know a little bit about us, we like to start each episode with something called "Oh, by the way."
Oh, by the way. Okay.
So our "Oh, by the way" could be anything. It could be a beauty tip. It could be like a highlight either in our week or just in general.
Yep.
It could be news that we read. It could be literally anything. But I think it is only appropriate to say, oh, by the way, this is our very first time recording a podcast.
Woo-hoo!
And that's exciting news.
Yes.
So I would just say, as we, start this journey, one of the big parts of our business is continuous improvement. Mm-hmm. We don't expect everything to be perfect day one. We do not want perfection to be the enemy of good and great. So as we learn and as we grow, we're excited that you get to see that shift. Mm-hmm. We're excited that this is the start of an incredible journey where we are helping you understand more about your beauty and building a community of people who, care to understand and learn the connections between STEM and beauty. So, yeah.
So we are very excited to announce the Beauty System podcast. Woo!
All right, guys. So something that we are going to do as a consistent thing is something called human verification.
Yes.
So human verification is meant to serve as like an icebreaker, but also to just humanize the guests that we have. We're going to have people who are, smart, knowledgeable scientists, all types of people. And I think there's a common misconception that sciencey people, engineers, they don't have personalities. They're not fun. They're not cool. But that's something that we learned very clearly, just like being around engineers and studying that. So human verification. Maiya.
Yes. Okay.
What is our question?
So today for human verification, we're going to do a would you rather. Okay. So would you rather wear a foundation that isn't your skin tone or have your leave out not match your weave?
I would rather wear foundation that is not my skin tone than to have horrible leave out.
That is a great choice. I do remember the several times that I've seen leave out this distinctively different.
Two different continents happening on one head. Two different continents. It's not.
Yeah. No. So I agree. Because then you can like edit the lighting, but you can't edit the leave out.
You can't
the leave out is not going. Once it's there, it's not going.
Yeah, no. You can put some bronzer.
Straighten either. It's gonna stay curled right on up.
Look, sometimes I use foundation that's semi-color, but you bronze. You put bronzer. You put contour. You do other things. But what you don't do is
you can't unleave the leave out.
You can't unleave it because it's there. It's with you.
It's right there with you everywhere you go.
Okay, great. So, Maiya, this is our first episode. What are we discussing today?
So today we are discussing our journey. Yay. So Maiya and I are always about like pouring back, showing people what we've learned so that it's even if it's only a little bit, it's easier for you when you're doing similar things that we've already done. So we just want to share our journey with you guys and let you know some of the things we've been through, some of the things that have been great, who we are, what we believe in, and just allow you guys to get to know us before you follow with us on the beauty system.
Yeah, I think that's really important, especially when it comes to beauty, because I think beauty is so very personal. And yeah, I think that it's important to start off our podcast with understanding like how that has been for us, like who we are. Like we just need to set the groundwork, and that's what we hope to do today. So first, let's talk about so we talked in our introduction about how we, are both co-founders of My Beauty. let's talk about the story of My Beauty, because I don't think that you can start a podcast about beauty. For me personally, My Beauty is so much about my journey, and even the way that we created it has a lot to do with our journey. So, do you want to kick us off? How did My Beauty start?
Yeah. So Maiya and I went to undergrad together. So in undergrad, when we first met, we were like, "Oh yeah, my name's Maiya." And she's like, "Oh my god, my name's Maiya." So that was just cool, and it's like it was cool just to have somebody with the same name, because I don't think I've ever like encountered like a close friend named Maiya.
No.
So that was cool in itself. But we both also just did a big chop, or my hair was pretty short, so it wasn't much chopping. But we were chopped down at the time.
This
So
much hair.
look,
This much.
we were chopped down at the time, so we needed to figure out how were we gonna make that work. Like, we're coming onto a college campus, we're freshmen, we trying to be out and looking good, and we over here trying to figure out this little TWA that we don't have a clue what to do with. So we bonded over that, and I am the do your hair friend. So
Everybody's
when
hair.
everybody needs their hair done, they're like, "Oh, can you come up with a style for me? Can you help me? I know you can fix it." After the hairdresser and they done messed it up already, I'm the fixer.
That's correct.
So I would do people's hair, and then Maiya does makeup. Maiya Nicole. Sorry for our listeners.
Oh yeah,
we have to clarify. This is my Elaine speaking. Eventually, you guys will understand. But yeah, so Maiya and Elaine, I do hair, and well, I don't do hair professionally, but I do enough. And Maiya Nicole does makeup enough because so she would do makeup for our friends on campus if we had like galas, events. One of our friends was Miss A&T. We went to North Carolina A&T State University. So yeah, one of our friends from A&T, so she did makeup for that. And Maiya would she's all things makeup. She knows a ton about it. So as we talked, eventually we had this idea of like, oh, we should create this little like I can do hair, you can do makeup situation.
Yeah, it was gonna be hot. We were gonna go around. We were gonna go around the people's dorms and be like, "Yeah, you need to have a special event. I can do hair. I can do makeup." It was gonna be cute,
right? It was gonna be real cute.
It didn't happen.
Well, we didn't even make it.
We didn't do that
mainly because we were like drowning in engineering. I was in the band. It wasn't enough.
And I was never there. I was just not on campus.
She wasn't. She was co-oping. She was working before she graduated. Yeah. So, yeah. So it just didn't. We didn't have the time there. But after I graduated, a friend asked me to make a bonnet. I think she just knew I sewed. So she was like, "Can you make a bonnet? Like, I need these branded bonnets for my brand. I have the colors, and can you make a bonnet?" So I made it, and I brought it to one of Maiya and I's mutual friends' party. And Maiya was like, "Oh, this is really good. Like, we could actually do something with this." So just so you know, Maiya's little brain just started turning and turning. And eventually there was a whole flushed out business plan. And I think before I did I had the thought of like, okay, I think I'm going to just make more. But for me, it was like, I'm going to make more. I'm going to figure out how this works. And there was because Maiya eventually studied business, there was none of the business part for me. So I couldn't see what she saw as far as the business. So with us together in 2019, we decided to start what was then Maiya X Maiya, Maiya and Maiya. It was written Maiya X Maiya, but it was Maiya and Maiya. We decided to start that in 2018, and we rebranded to My Beauty last year. So we've been going for 20, 21, 22, 23, 4 years almost. Yikes. Next month, 4 years.
Wow.
And we've grown so much from there. I think when we started My Beauty, go back to when we started My Beauty, it was a couple of products.
Yeah.
We were like, let's just go do it. Can you make a headband? And I'll just go figure out the pattern and make it. Okay, we like this. Can you make scrunchies? Can we make different size scrunchies? And then we started to shift, I think, and say, okay, we can make these things. There's no question of like, if we need something, we can make it. But what do we need? And so it was first, well, these scrunchies are great, but like I have a lot of hair and I can't always get it around when I have really long braids. Or if our friends have locks and they want to wear scrunchies that always break and pop and they're not satin, so they, rub up against your hair comes out. So once we started having the what do we need conversation, then My Beauty really fell into what it was supposed to be as a brand.
Yeah, and I think what's really important to know about our story is that because we basically touched every phase of like the hair journey. Like we chopped off our hair, like we understood what it felt to cry in the mirror because you cut off all your hair. And so we've had that experience. We, as we grew our head, we tried like growing your hair in that journey and stuff like that. And then also when we look at our friend group, like we have friends that have locks, we have friends that have short hair, we have friends that have curly hair, different textures of hair. So like, and we even have different textures here. So like, I think that it caused us to be very other minded and like other centered and wanting to have a business that, created intentional products that worked for every stage of your beauty journey, whether that's hair, just any type of beauty. Like we wanted to make sure that we had a company that catered towards those unique needs. And I think that that's what we ended up doing. And yeah. And I think also too, like in terms of like the STEM component as well, like our first product was a bonnet, but we took that and we created the culture cover. Like we spent basically a year doing research and development. We used a lot of engineering design thinking principles in order to make it. We iterated, we scrapped, we tried, we went through like I would say about 10 or 11 different variations until we had what we have now, which is an adjustable reversible bonnet with an attachment, a scarf or wrap attachment. It really is unique and one of its kind if you have not seen it and you don't have it. But yes, so I think that was kind of like My Beauty was the culmination of us like understanding the importance. Was like the first time we understood the importance of like beauty and STEM's relationship and how we can really use that to help people in the area of beauty. So that was a good synopsis. And I think the story that kind of underlies that is our beauty journey. And like we like you were talking about earlier, Elaine was talking about earlier, like we were in this really interesting time of our lives in terms of beauty is concerned. Like I know like Maiya said, we came to campus. I just chopped off my like hair. This is like, and I think it's important to know your beauty journey, but like throughout like growing up, I had like curly hair, still have curly hair. And I just, because of like the environments I think that I was in, like I could never recognize that as like beautiful, and so like I tried to like I would see people, and even the media was a lot different back then when very different. It was a lot different. So we didn't see like women that looked like us with curly hair that looked like our curly hair, like they had like baby dolls, with the Goldilocks. Like our hairs did not, it just didn't go like that. And so I had this innate need and desire to want to straighten my hair. I begged my mom, Mom, can I have it? I just need a perm. Can I perm my hair? Can you please help me perm my hair? Like, I just want to perm my. She's like, no, like, I'm not doing that. No. And then she was like, okay, I'll let you get a texturizer. So that was like my first taste. And I was like,
because it's basically the same.
Girl, it's just loose your curls just a little bit. Look, so she's like, you can get a texturizer. So I was like, okay. So then I tried that and I didn't really like, I wanted my hair straight. Like I wanted to wear my hair straight. That's all I saw. Like I went to predominantly like white schools. And so all the girls had straight hair to the booties. Okay. Down. And I wanted it. Down. Bust down before there was a bust down. Like that's what I wanted. And so, and I could not recognize myself as being like beautiful in those spaces, and my hair being beautiful in those spaces. And so, after my mom finally relented, kind of like in high school, let me get a perm. I was so excited freshman year of high school. I was like, I'm gonna get a perm. And I don't know what it was like psychologically, like it just don't be going, because girl, I thought my hair was gonna be down to the floor. You couldn't tell me my hair wasn't gonna be down to the floor.
Your curly hair stopped at
the floor,
and
it was like a cute little. Right, and I was like, and your mama made you bump the ends, so it was
it's shorter because you got to bump them. side part curl under. You have to.
Mad, okay? So that resulted in nothing really. And obviously, you know, you're not getting perms, you're not because perm, if you perm your hair, like there is a level of maintenance that you have to have.
Yes.
Like it's more serious, I feel like, than, you know, natural hair in terms of like more can go wrong in my opinion. So my hair was so by the time it was time for me to graduate, like I had to cut off all my hair. Like I wanted my curls again and my hair had to be gone. Like my hair had to be gone. And so I remember going to my cousin's wife's salon. She was a stylist, and getting my hair cut. And she cut off my hair. But the thing that was so great about this is that she also, my mom, I somehow got her to agree to do sew in as well. So I cut off my hair, and then I was gonna do a curly sew in because that's kind of the deal that I made with my my cousin's wife. Y'all, she cut off my hair. I was boo hoo crying, and I think I had no hair. And my mom was looking at me like, "Oh my, you're so beautiful. Your curls are so pretty." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" It's like correct, because you know, like also too, like when you cut off your hair, especially doing a big chop, like your natural texture doesn't just pop out again. No. Like it's like a training process of your hair again. So you could have told me like that was a real setback for my confidence is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Like the girl was set back crying in the mirror. And so I think like going into college, that's kind of like really what, like seeing another Maiya with hair like mine. Oh, girl, we're friends. We're friends now. You understand my struggle. Looking in the mirror, trying to figure out like what to do, and just being like deflated, and like you doing things with your hair and coming in like, oh, you can just do this. Da, da, da. Like that was what I think that community and that like shared experience was something just even in my educational environments that I never, you know, experienced. And so having the community around beauty to help you celebrate your unique beauty was something that was so important that we continue in the form of our business. So that's a little, you know, a piece of my hair journey. I have more about like my makeup journey and stuff like that, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, my makeup journey is this big, but the hair one I can give you.
Yeah, tell us.
So my hair journey was different, opposite. I got that perm. Let me think. My hair was just so thick and so it was manageable, but it would have taken a lot of tender love and care. And I just didn't, as a small child, have the skills to help. My mom definitely, I feel like I get the hair doing from her because she made whatever I want to happen. Like we went and got the hair, we did the braids. We whatever style we could make happen, we went and made it happen. But I got a perm when I was really young, and I thought it was okay. Like so context, I went to an all black school, all black everything. Like the neighborhood, everybody's black. So, I mean, obviously not everybody, but like majority of everybody that I surrounded myself with outside of like the competitive cheerleading world was everybody black. So there was a variety of everything. Like you did have people with their natural hair, with locks, with permed hair. You had pretty much everything that our versatile hair could do happen. So there wasn't the same sentiment in that sense. But I tried everything. That perm, they say you're supposed to get a new perm every 6 weeks.
That's what I feel too.
No. Let me tell you. By week 2, my natural hair is back out. She's back curled. She's rolling up. Edges,
resilient,
circles all down the edge. Like and I'm doing all of this. I'm active. So like I'm going out, I'm sweating all the time. I am in all the clubs. I'm cheering every 5 seconds, flipping. I'm putting my body through all of this stuff. So I'm just like sweating. My hair, the perm never had a chance. So week 2, you start seeing it rolling up. Week 3, I'm like, we back at the leave out situation. Like my leave out for the perm was rolling up. It was bad. So at this point, I'm doing everything. I have an inch of afro with my little straight hair popping out, and I'm doing everything to cover up that inch of afro. It was just so much.
Wow.
It was like my hair was like, girl, just let me be. Like, just girl,
screaming for help.
Girl, just chill. Like, if you just let me come on out the way I'm supposed to, then we will be good. So I just felt like, you know, my high school friends were used to seeing me one way. I started to like shop and shop. Like I got a shortcut in 8th grade. Then it kind of got shorter and shorter. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't really like the getting shorter thing, but I also didn't really like the maintenance of like keeping my hair perm. And I also switched to texturizers to kind of like, mine was the opposite, to like fade away from the perm and give
wean
myself,
yourself off.
yeah, yes.
Oh.
Don't try to make me sound like an addict.
I was just saying, wean
I
yourself
am not
off.
a perm addict, but I did the opposite. So I did texturizers, and then I just stopped getting them. But when I did do the texturizers, the curls started to come a little bit, so I didn't have to like chop. Like my hair was already short, like I said, so I didn't really have to chop a lot off, and it was so used to reverting back in 2 seconds that she just popped out curling, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what we're doing now. So in college, everybody that met me just knew the natural hair, so it was just like a new start. Everybody that I see is gonna see this look, so we're gonna go with it. And I googled so many hours, like I YouTube for so many hours to figure out what to do with 1 inch of hair. Like how many ways can you twist 1 inch of hair to make it stay twisted? And
shout out to YouTube because they were helping us out in the early beauty days.
What?
Like I was always on YouTube specifically for like makeup, like Jackie Ina, like all of the girls that were teaching us, like Alyssa, I forget Alyssa Ashley, like just teaching us about makeup and about hair. Like YouTube really had everything for us to learn where we couldn't see it around, because like that was, I think that's kind of what got me into makeup, really, honestly, like going on YouTube and like seeing people, you know, that was in the days when people used to do this. I got this product from,
I got this is yellow, if you can see it,
the camera not focusing. It was like that was those days, okay? So yeah, I really think that's what got me into makeup, and like just seeing how people are able to be so creative and expressive and like, you know, change themselves into like, you know, whatever from makeup. And I think that was like, wow, like YouTube really for beauty, you can't like our beauty, you can't like YouTube is a part of our beauty journey. Like you can go wrong, but
you can in fact go wrong. But if you get enough of the right people and enough of the right content together, you should be good. The crazy part about that though is I was always, so there were people with my textured hair on YouTube, but very few.
That's so true.
So even though I was looking at natural hair tutorials day in and day out, it was like loose curl or like, you know, still a little coily, but very loosely textured. So I was following all of these things and would be looking in the mirror like, she said it was going to look like this. This don't look like that. This ain't that. So I definitely think YouTube, you know, more people access the platform and more people with kinkier textured hair started to make videos eventually. But that's what always reminded me that like, okay, even though there's a billion people doing the same exact thing, there's always a place. Because I still search like coily hair, this style. Yeah. Because I see like the style I want. But before I go through the trouble, I need to make sure it's gonna work on what I got.
Me.
So yeah, the YouTube did definitely help, but there's always a place for that was my like stepping into like, okay, everybody makes scrunchies, but I'm gonna make scrunchies too, and I'm gonna do it different. And there's a billion bonnet companies, but we're gonna make the culture cover.
The culture cover.
So hey, that's how our beauty journeys kind of. Those are some of the things that kind of got us into our beauty confidence.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think for me too, like makeup was a big, like hair is like, okay, yeah, I gotta do my hair because but like makeup was really like my outlet for a while. I think that like at some point in my life, it was like the one thing, like I would just do my makeup and I would just like, you know, especially being away, like on like at school, like away from school and like away from my friends, I would just like get in the mirror and like do like little YouTube. I was actually cleaning out my computer the other day and I saw like these videos and like the old like just like computer recording where I was like in the mirror, like okay guys, I'm gonna do a wing eyeliner before I go to like I was a YouTuber, but I did not have the boldness to go post that on YouTube. But yeah. So makeup was just like my outlet and just like learning how to do things. And then I feel like I got to a point where like makeup became like camouflage almost, like for me, like not really accepting my beauty, because I think that there's don't awe me, Maiya. Don't awe me. I mean, no, but seriously, like I think that that's like the beauty of like beauty. Like that's the cool thing about it. It's like you can become people that you are, but like I think at some point it really does go back to accepting who you are. And I think like I feel like I had an unhealthy obsession with makeup for some period. Like there was one time I would like not go out of the house unless I didn't have makeup on. And
goodness.
Like for real, I'd be like, I got to put on my makeup, like da da da. And then I like fasted makeup for Lent like one year.
Oh, cool.
And I did not put on any makeup. And that was like, okay, Maiya, like, first of all, you need to start embracing your beauty, because this could all go away tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. So let's be very clear. So I think that kind of like helped me just understand, like, yes, beauty is important for like, you know, being confident and like presenting yourself, but it should not be the source of your confidence. Right. It should be in a like accompaniment, but not the main part of it. So yeah, that is our beauty journey. Yes. Wow. I feel like you guys know us so well now. Okay, so we really want to talk about STEM some more, because I think for the people who like they're clicking on the podcast because of the beauty part and they love beauty, but they don't really, the STEM part is like, okay, good, what are we talking about? So and I know we introduced in the beginning that STEM is like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but like what is your relationship with STEM? I know that we said that you studied computer engineering, but like, first of all, what is computer engineering? Never heard of it. And then B, like, what is how was your journey to STEM? Like, why did you get introduced to that?
Yeah, so I'll start from the beginning. So actually in the community that I grew up in, there was not a lot of STEM. Like, so we didn't have engineering classes in my high school. I think we actually got them at the like very tail end, but it wasn't very heavily advertised. So there wasn't a lot of like driving towards tech yet. Now there obviously is, but when I was younger, there wasn't a lot of driving towards tech. What I did know is that, okay, I really like math. I really like science. It feels like this type of figuring things out is intuitive to me. It feels like I am the person who wants to like, okay, what's wrong with it? Okay, well, I can fix it. I can't fix it. Oh, well, I guess I got to take it apart. Oh, well, now I got to learn about what all the pieces are. Like, just being a nerd and going deeper and deeper and deeper into a subject until you figure out exactly what you want to know. So I think that I knew for sure that I wanted to be able to problem solve and be able to think, use my brain, get somewhere, start at one point and get to another point by logic. So I knew that. And then I also knew that I wanted to be creative. And so, I mean, I've always been like a artsy person, like, oh, well, we can't get that. Well, let's make it. So everything, and I think I get that from my mom as well. Like we made my prom dresses from 8th grade on up, and we made just different things I needed for school projects. It was always like, oh, we can just make it. There's never a you can't have it. It's like we can make it happen. So I knew I wanted to create, and then when I guess like I'm out my sophomore year, and I started to think, they were like, oh, you got to figure out what you're gonna want to get a degree in. You're gonna got all these scholarships. You're gonna want to go to college. What are you gonna go for? So, my sophomore, junior year, one of the two, I had a really cool teacher who like just talked me through like all of the options. And engineering was like, okay, I can make things and I can problem solve. Like, okay, because engineering is basically just problem solving. It is figuring out how to get from point A to point B, figuring out how things work. I mean, all the way down. Every aspect of engineering is the all of the tools and the systems and the processes behind how everything you see works. So I think with computer engineering, it was like, oh, I can make anything I want. Like software became very popular, I think, when we started to graduate. I mean, it was already popular, but like getting software development and like being a what it was like coder before instead of a software developer, but like coding became very important. And also we were all mini coders. We were on MySpace
Let me tell you something. Let me
because
tell you
the Bebo and the
something.
MySpace backgrounds, I had to software develop. Okay,
the flashing, all this stuff. Like, look, only one of your friends to see them when you get on the friends page, girl.
Look, you had to
Coder.
code, like they outsourced coding.
Yeah.
Is what they did. So we were all doing it and we didn't know. So once I kind of put two and two, I was like, okay, I could do this. I can use this as an outlet. I can program anything I want to do anything I want. I can, I can I can make it, I can create this thing one step further with computer engineering. So that's kind of how I landed at computer engineering. And as I got to A&T and started learning, it just became more apparent how STEM in general is interconnected. Technology, science, technology exists because of science and trying things out and testing things out and like what we know to be true because someone studied it. And then math heavily, okay? Let me tell you something. If you don't do math, engineering, it's gonna be a little difficult because it's all interconnected. So I think my relationship with STEM was really grounded in like my create, problem solve philosophy and like realizing how connected it is. It made sense for me.
Yeah, that's good.
How about you? What do you think about STEM?
Well, I got into STEM because my daddy told me I was going to be an engineer, and that was it. Like that. That's kind of how it happened. I mean, my brother, I have an older brother.
Mm-hmm.
He is an electrical engineer. He's actually getting his PhD in electrical engineering. So he was ahead of me, and my parents put him in NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers. They had a junior little thing, so they put him in NSBE Junior. And when he graduated, they put me in SB Junior. I was right up in SB Junior. So it was really the cool thing about NSB. I had to plug NSB. Okay, cool. The cool thing about NSB in Junior, it's first of all, it's a student-run organization.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, what does it stand for?
Yeah, National Society of Black Engineers. So it's a student-run organization, student-led organization, meaning like everything that's done is students, whether you're on the national board or whatever, everything is student led. So it's really cool, especially in the junior side of things, because like the students run the meetings. Like it was just a great time to like learn about leadership and like organization and like going to career fairs and how do you navigate things. Like I learned a lot from NSB Junior. So, and in that time they were like, okay, well, Maiya, like, what engineering do you want to do? What engineering do you want to do? And I was kind of like, I don't know, like maybe. And then I met my mentor in NSB Junior. She was an industrial engineer. Okay. And so I was like, okay, like, and she was telling me more about what she was doing. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, like I'll do, industrial engineering. Mind you, I don't like math. Like I don't like math. I'm okay at math. Like I'm good. Like if I sit down and like really try to apply myself, I'll figure it out. It just math just does not come easy to me. Like my brother, it comes easy to him. It does not. I have to work at it, but that's not to say that I'm bad at it. And I also like going from like elementary school to middle school, I skipped a lot of math. Like going into the into the program, I skipped, like I went from like doing, fifth grade stuff to doing like algebra. And I was like, first of all, there's some fundamentals in between that I do not have. So I just had to figure that out. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be an engineer. And my grades were good enough. So I was like, I got into A&T, and the people there were like really great. I got to talk to like my department chair. I love the industrial engineering department at North Carolina A&T. So did that, got into school, and then immediately, like my second
she was out. Let me tell y'all something. I saw Maiya for one full semester. Not one full year, pause, a half. Woo! And after that, you thought she got a job straight out and went and left and won't coming back.
My second semester of college, I took in co-op, which is like an internship, but it's during the semester. So I was working 6 months at a automotive manufacturer, and in their safety production engineering department. And then I was like, okay. And then directly from there, I worked at a agricultural goods manufacturer. And I was like, okay, both in like industrial kind of systems, sort of leaning industrial engineering things. And I was like, I don't really enjoy the manufacturing side of engineering, because ISE, or industrial and systems engineering, oftentimes you will see them in terms of like manufacturing, like production efficiency, like time studies, like how do you make this process more efficient. It's all about like evaluating a process, making it more efficient, which in theory I feel like I do in general.
Yes.
But yeah, just like in the manufacturing context, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give.
Like, I can do this, but not here.
So from there, I worked at a retailer. I went directly to work co-op again for a retailer. So 6 months, again, not being at school, but working. And there it was like, wow, like you can use engineering in business. Like, oh my gosh, they need engineers in business. And I was working in like it was just like a group of people that did like special projects. That's the best way to explain it. Like they were just like working to do cool things. So like I worked on like one of the first in-store pickup programs. So like I helped with that national program of like this retailer. So from there I was like, okay, I really like, and that's another thing that you can do in engineering specifically, but industrial engineering is like the most business focused of all the engineers anyway. Yeah. So it kind of made sense, and I was still kind of doing engineering work, but not like really. But people hire when they say like study engineering, you can really do anything. People hire engineers for how they think. Like they'll teach you what they want you to do, but they just want to know how you think. So from there, and granted, I only had a semester of this engineering
of actual studies.
And your first look, okay. So then from there, I went back to school, I think, and then I just kept doing internships. So I worked at a lot of different places. So it's no point of going through them all, but I worked
at least like 10 or 11 places.
Like it was a lot. So, but the most notable part was like tech. And so working in tech, and I was like, whoa, like I really like technology. It's cool. It's like I worked on mixed reality devices, so like virtual reality and other devices, and like that was also manufacturing, but I also got to understand like the science behind it as well. So yeah, and I realized, I was looking to my left, I was looking to my right when I was back at school, and I was like, these people really like this. Like, y'all really enjoy learning the theory behind these things, and I could care less. I like the business application. Like, how are we going to apply this? I don't care that somebody created this a billion years ago, right? And if you put this math equation behind it, this is how you feel. Like, I did not care. So I was like, and I think that we can have a conversation about this all day about like imposter syndrome and all that other stuff. But I was like, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I like sort of the more business side of things. So I transferred from A&T and went to UVA to finish out in business and commerce. But I also still took a STEM thing. I did information technology. So it's like, in business, it's more focused on, I would say it's kind of like, how would I explain it? They do like some computer science things
very light on the.
You still learn it. Actually, my computer science class was really was very in depth. Like I took a cybersecurity class, and they were making us do networks and draw them and drag. Wow. Like, it was really in depth. So they weren't UVA. They were not playing in terms of information technology, and I still had to do things. But it's like we're not spending 5 seconds. We're not spending like 5 chapters talking about the theory behind it. Like we're talking about the application. So that was really cool. And then I got into management and understood like I really like the technology applied to business. So I think I'm a technologist because I like technology. I'm really good with computers. Like that's kind of how I think that I really fit in the STEM sort of world. And technically my degree is a STEM degree based on the Department of Education certification that my school has. So yeah, we're STEM girlies.
We're STEM
Black girls in STEM. But honestly, STEM has been really helpful in terms of our business as well because we gotta build websites, we gotta do this, we gotta do that.
Okay, like, all of that computer engineering. Because first of all, I'll take a step back. A&T computer engineering for me was like a lot of electrical engineering and then a little sprinkle of computer science, and then like it was a lot of different things. So I learned a ton, and I also learned how to think through a lot of different things. But when it came to this business, everything came back up. Like, oh, you need this. Oh, you need this. Oh, you need everything. Everything that you
Yes.
thought you didn't need, you need that. So by that time, I was 2 years into my career.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing software development a little bit still, but not as much. And I definitely wasn't creating websites. So we had to do a little bit of digging,
Yeah.
digging back up of our engineering degrees. And also, I was never manufacturing anything in school. So it was like, okay, what were the concepts you learned?
Yeah.
How does that apply to the, like, even in software development, there is a software development life cycle. How does creating things, testing things, change,
Mm-hmm.
making it an iteration on things, making it better, going back into the testing loop, like that process is literally what I did with our culture cover, with our scrunchies, all of it. And I think Maiya was, encouraged it. It wasn't like, okay, well, you need to hurry up, because I very well could have had a partner that was like, you didn't even get this design out. We said we were going to drop this thing last week, according to the business timeline. We're supposed to be XYZ. But because we have that understanding of what it is to test something out, prove it to work for, your desired target group, and then release it, and then, have all of the knowledge to back up why this needs to be this way, and like why you just didn't do it the other way. So I think that the STEM background came right on in.
Yeah, I agree, because I think it's one thing to like be in business, but I feel like I know enough about engineering to be dangerous, and I know enough about working with engineers. Exactly. And I think that that's kind of a problem with a lot of people in business, is that they don't know how to work around highly technical people, right, and how to communicate with highly technical people. And so that's why I think we work so well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we do. And I think Maiya, a part of what we are experiencing now as professionals, like I'm still very much, I think I've transformed my role a little bit, partly because I've learned more about business, but I became kind of like, my approach to work at first was like very technical. Like, we're going to do the technical stuff. We're going to software develop. We're going to hardware. Like, we're going to do all of this technical stuff. And then I started to look up like, okay, well, no, why am I doing what I'm doing? And then I started to talk to those business people, and it's like, okay, now we're translating what can be done, how it works, to what we think we need. And that conversation between technical and business, for me, made it easier for me to talk to Maiya. It made it easier for me to understand, oh, there is some truth to business people thinking they need XYZ. There is, and they don't know. So I think that made our business a little bit easier, because we both work with business people and engineers. We're able to cut out the middle. Like, okay, Maiya will come up with an idea, or we will come up with an idea together, and it's like, okay, well, what does it actually take? Skip all of the, like, this is what I need this. No, what problem do we want to solve? And I think our mindsets and the growth that we had in STEM allowed us to get down to the, what problem do we want to solve? Now, how do we make it happen? Now go. And so it's just very crystal clear around here.
So we talked about STEM, we talked about beauty, but like, we need to talk about the interconnectedness between that. Because I think so for some people, that's a hard bridge to make. Like, okay, yeah, I like hair, but what does that have to do with science?
Right. Why I need to know
and
science?
Why do I need to know that? I don't care. But you should care, because I think that just from understanding how business works, like, there is behind any product. Let's take shampoo. Behind a shampoo, the people that you get the shampoo from, the marketers, they have to work with chemists.
Exactly.
Baby.
There's chemicals in there.
There's chemicals
that you may not know about. And that's the science part. And then also, when it comes to products and like technology, beauty is getting very technical. There's all kinds of products coming out that had more than a splash of technology put on top
Literally, when you go to Sephora, they do the color IQ match. What is that? Technology. Okay. So so it's just like you said, the society is just becoming more digital, more technical every day. And then also, you need to in order to be an informed customer, because I think that's the thing that we really want to promote, is like you need to be educated and informed with the decisions that you are making as a customer. You need to understand the science behind a lot of things. Don't just let someone say something and you say,
Oh, okay, I'm
okay,
gonna use that.
yeah, that sounds right. No, ma'am.
She's smart. She said
oh
it.
yeah, she had on lab coat. I trust her. Like, ma'am.
That was just my cousin.
Ma'am. You need to understand, and I think that that's really what I hope that we do, is like break down concepts to make sense, like whether it's hair, whether it's, you know, beauty, whether it's skin. Like, I think that it's important to understand that you are a living a living person.
Mhm.
And as a living person, you have a body, and a body is science.
Okay, great explanation.
Thank you, Maiya.
And furthermore, let's just get past that definition. Yes, you do in fact have a body, but furthermore, it needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So maybe think twice, ask a question or two,
5.
and find out. Look, 5
5.
and find out if what you're doing is the right thing. And then I think we talked about science, technology, and engineering, but the math component. Let me tell you where the math component comes in. Data. Numbers. It is all numbers. The difference between me taking a product that is marketed to everyone and using it as truth is that knowing that the survey was 80% marketed in, you know, all white communities or, you know, any other ethnicity community than the one that I need to know about, that makes a difference. Because now the chemist approved it was true. Everybody said it was good for you. Everybody said it works. All the right, you got the science, you know, the science, technology, engineering, you thought about that. But the numbers are coming from the wrong place.
The sample size is not representative.
It is not representative.
You just pulling out numbers. I can say any statistic,
yeah.
Okay, and just say that it is true.
Yeah, because I tested it on 2 people, and
you and me,
and both
and
100% liked it.
100% approval for this podcast. You and me. You see how data can just be used, like
yeah, like it can be used to manipulate you. So it is important to understand numbers and understand how data comes in and where your data is coming from. Who told you that?
That is it.
Who told you that?
Who said that? And I think that it's important, especially as it relates to like talking to people. I think that we're gonna see each kind of area stem peek out in our episodes. Like, I'm excited for the people that we're going to talk to, because you may not understand how something is related to science. You may not recognize that as being science. And I think that that's a lot of things that we think like, oh, you know, oh yeah, I didn't know that. Like, so we hope that you have that, oh, I didn't know that was science, because ultimately, you know, introducing people to certain fields is what allowed us to be here, right? My introduction to Nesby, your counselor, teaching you and introducing you to certain things. Like, we want to introduce people to even new possible careers. Like, I like that, you know? And
even if you don't go for it, then you know about it.
You know about it.
You have a choice. And I think part of it is like giving people a choice. Like, if you don't know about engineering, you're not going to do engineering, of course. But you graduate and then now you want to go online and take engineering classes because really what you should have been doing in the first place, but you didn't know.
So
we're here to let you know.
We're here to let you know. We hope you know the things. Okay, guys. So what and how do we plan to use what we know to inform beauty? And I think we talked about this a lot. It's like, you know, we really hope in this podcast that we're breaking down topics. If there's ever a topic that you're like, hey, like, let's double click on that because that was interesting, I want to learn more, let us know. We want to hear your feedback. We want to be able to make this a community of learning and of growth. So just let us know what you need to know.
We're on this journey with you. So when it comes to being informed about beauty, you're getting informed, but we're getting informed.
Because I don't know all the answers, but I know who to ask, and I know I can read. And if you can read, you can do anything.
Yeah.
If that's not your one takeaway, it should be.
Oh, okay.
You can read, you can do anything. Okay, so let's wrap up the show. But before we go, what is one thing that you learned, STEM related, that help you inform your beauty routine? If you don't have
my beauty
routine, like, what is one thing that you learned, like, STEM related, that was like, oh, that changed the game for me? I can go. I have one
you
on
go.
top of my head.
I'm gonna think of my change the gamer.
Okay, so when I was working at a beauty brand, I learned this and I like changed my life. So when you're applying stuff on your face, like creams, and you know how like you initially just want to do like this, like I want to rub in this stuff, rub it in. You're not supposed to do that. That's not a good visual for people who are learning. I mean,
No.
listening. Okay,
She's
so
rubbing she's swiping her face,
but down. So when you apply anything, I have two. Okay, when you apply anything, you want to apply it up in a way because you want to work against gravity. Gravity, as you age, is gonna pull your face down, honey.
Yikes.
Down, 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 down,
I don't want
down.
it.
Okay, but you want to work up in a way. You want to work against gravity when you apply things. That was my one. If you don't have another one, I have another one.
I do.
Yikes.
In fact, have
Okay,
one.
go.
Right there.
I have another one.
Eager. I have another. Well, I have one.
Okay.
One thing that informs my beauty journey. Okay, my curl pattern and what that means for the tools I use and how much I wash my hair. So for the tools part, before it was like, oh, we got this new tool that'll detangle your hair, and like
It's
a dimming brush. It's the little pull away brush. Yeah, the one that has like the prongs and they separate as you brush your hair.
Yeah.
There's the different size combs. There's a skinny comb and the wider one and the one with the pick. One thing I learned is that everything that everybody, even with your texture hair, uses may not be for you. So I think that happened more with the dimming brush because the dimming brush was like so big and everybody was like, yeah, I use the dimming brush all the time. And and I would complain about detangling my hair and they'll be like, if you just use that dimming brush.
Yeah. They were doing the work.
A tool is not going to solve it alone. That's the first thing. You can't use a dimming brush on soaking wet hair and rip everything out. Y'all can't use it on dry hair and can't make it through. So there is a middle ground in which things work. But for me, the dimming brush just didn't work. And it took me a while to get to the point where it's like, I'm a finger detangle and I'm going to use this wide tooth comb and we're going to be good. And I'm just going to have to be thorough because that's not going to work for me. And I think when there's a big bandwagon in the beauty community, it's real hard. It's real hard. Everybody's like, I'm using it. And then my dimming brush got 2 inches of hair in it.
Girl.
And the girl in the video, dimming brush ain't had that.
She washed it out.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't like that. And then what did I say? I said the tools and then, how I wash my hair. Pro tip, it's okay that you don't wash your hair every day.
It is okay.
It's okay because our hair is curly, and I think we did a blog on this. You can see it on our page, on our My Beauty page or website. We did a blog on this, but that really was a major tip to make me stop feeling like I have to wash my hair every day. The curl pattern of our hair just takes longer for things to travel down, so it takes longer for buildup to happen, for like your strands to get coated. So when you're like washing your hair every day before your strand even got the nutrients that you put on your scalp or whatever you put in your body to the water that you're putting in your body, like it's not even getting a chance to travel all the way down your coils and kinks because you have coils and kinks. So it's okay if you give yourself a second to take in those nutrients and then wash your hair every other, whatever works for you. So it could be every 2 or 3 days, it could be every week. And I think a lot of natural hair girls do once a week or once every 2 weeks, whatever they do. A lot of them do that. Maiya's looking at me. Maiya be washing her hair all the time. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. But I think the main thing, I think I kind of gave 2. But the main thing is
that means I get
another. The main thing is the whole like use what works for you and make sure it works for you. So that was like my science process of like, I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna try it for this amount of time. Doesn't work, we're going to iterate. Like that was kind of like the stem thing that it's like, okay, you can apply this little stem process to your hair and make sure it's right.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to save my next one because this will come back.
It will. It always do.
Well, guys, I am so excited. This is the first ever episode of the Beauty System podcast. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found it helpful. And what we're going to encourage you to do is, if you are on YouTube, do those YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, notification. Just do like do. Just do all that in a row. Click all them buttons. Comment something nice. Tell us how you liked it. Tell us the experience. We're trying to get better. We're trying to learn you. If you're on our podcast platforms, rate the podcast, leave comments. This is going to first help us grow, fine tune our methods for what we're doing and making sure that our podcast is great. Right. But also it's for other people to, understand. The more you like, the more you share, the more people find out. Exactly. And then we can have a community of people. Okay. This was great.
This was great. I'm excited about it. And let us know what you guys want to know. Like, we'll do the work to find the people who can, help us, or find the person who can confirm whether or not you really supposed to use them products with the long words, or is some of the long words okay? Or maybe none of them.
None of them.
So yeah, we'll find the people to come and educate you guys, as long as you let us know what you need to know.